Hello and welcome back to The Property Hustle. In today's episode, I'll be interviewing two ladies who 3 years ago connected on Facebook, proceeded to go into business together, and now run a successful property investment management agency here in the East Midlands. Before I go any further with this video, make sure you click the subscribe button below and click the bell icon to get notifications every time I post. So ladies, welcome to The Property Hustle.
Hello, thank you.
It's lovely to have you here on Jubilee campus here in Nottingham. This is your first time?
First time here, yeah.
First time in the Jubilee campus?
Yeah, I went to Trent.
Do you know what? I didn't know that. It's a good thing we're friends. So Trent University is like the rival uni.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did you not pick it? She went to Trent.
You went to Trent too?
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys.
How was it the rival uni? Yeah,
Jubilee campus. T-R-E-N-T. You're going to get a something degree. I'm not going to add the...
No, I was just at uni doing law, getting a degree. I wasn't in no rivalry. You were? You just didn't know?
Exactly.
No, I only know the difference between University of Nottingham and Trent.
In
terms of the different
Trent. And Uni of is the better one. I will say this, Trent had better nights out and hotter guys.
Well, I was just in the book. I was just studying. That's what I was doing. I was studying.
That was it, nothing else. Okay, so you did law.
Yes.
And what did you study?
Psychology and criminology.
Psychology and criminology. And how did you end up in property? Like, that seems so... I mean, I say that, I did languages, but it seems so far removed. Like, I'd be interested to hear how you guys got to your point, you individually got to property, and then maybe how you guys found each other.
Individually got into property? I went through the whole law degree, qualified as a lawyer, practiced as a lawyer, and then I started in property training through the different property networks. So that's how I gravitated towards property. So still in law, still doing a bit of both.
Mm-hmm. What type of law?
Well, what did I practice in?
Yes.
Employment law. Then I naturally gravitated towards property investments, and so that's how I got into property, so to speak.
Yeah.
My mother works for Country Properties.
Okay.
As a manager there and has been for years.
Yeah.
And you forget the timeline really, but I was an accompanied viewer and I'd show people around houses. So I was always interested in property.
Yeah.
And then when I realised that what I was doing at the time full time wasn't what I wanted to do, I knew I wanted to start my own business.
Yes. How did you find each other?
How did we connect to join the Miller and Vincent empire?
Can I just say I love that name?
It's
so regal, and even your logo is just like, I love it.
Thank you. It took a lot of thought. Miller and Vincent. But how do we connect? I think initially I was doing another side hustle, so to speak, and I was connected on Facebook, and it was one of the, I think, under 30s entrepreneur Facebook groups.
Yeah.
So I messaged Tanisha about.
I messaged you.
Okay.
Tanisha, I thought you put in the record straight today. Yeah. You reached out first. You slid in her DM. Just saying. That is the terminology.
So Tanisha messaged myself, and I think we just connected through. I think we connected through another sort of business, and then we just went up for coffee. Then we realised actually got an interest in property. Then we just started talking about property investments, what it is that we're doing, because I had already started my property training. I don't know whether you had at the time. But I had started training in property. I had initially set up alone, but I'm grateful for connected in business.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you're together, there's more manpower, and you can.
Woman.
Woman power. And so, would that be a piece of advice that you give to any kind of newbies starting to kind of look for someone that you might be able to just connect with, not necessarily go into business with?
Yeah, and I think it's so important to have at least a network around you. It's building this business has been harder than I could have ever
anticipated, ever imagined possible. So having just somebody there, even if, you know, you're not business partners, it's just so important. Because one of the main things I have found difficult is making the right, or who knows what the right decisions are. And I'm the type of person that I need somebody to talk that through. And so you need a network. But for me, having a business partner like Sanchia is amazing.
Cool. And so we connected here in Nottingham, actually. We were in town. Was it Starbucks or one of the coffee shops?
No, it was 200 Degrees. That's where we were.
Okay. And that was over 2 years ago now. And you guys were just starting out, and I was just starting out.
But at that time, though, you were like, I've got this property, I've done this, and it seemed like you were like powering ahead. We were like, what are we doing?
No, I think you can start at any time, and that's the beauty of property. You know, don't wait to buy property, buy property and wait, kind of thing. And it doesn't matter where you are in your journey. I've always found that people are willing to help you, like whether they've got 1,000 properties or just one. It's just all about reaching out, isn't it? So we connected about 2 years ago. Fast forward, you guys are now, you have your own management company. Like, you've got properties on your books, like not even just the one. Like, I'm here like trying to re-let my one buy to let, and you guys are just like in Derby, like moving and shaking. So talk to me a little bit about getting that off the ground. Once you decided that you were going to be together, you're going to, you know, how let's start from the very beginning. Like, how did you find the properties or the landlords who were willing to let you manage their properties?
I think we'll talk about the first one in Derby. How did we find the landlords? I think that property came through marketing through the HMO register. So that's where we secured that property. And that's probably one of the best strategies that we've used to secure properties for HMO management.
And is that sending letters to
sending letters to the HMO register, explaining the services that you do, and then they would then contact you to say, yes, I'm interested, let's explore those options a bit more.
That's really interesting. That's been one of your best methods for securing clients, because there's a lot of people that kind of start giving out letters, you know, after a month have not got anything back and they give up.
It's interesting you should say that.
Tanisha looks like she's ready to say something.
Everyone says it's all in the follow-up, or also sending out letters regularly. It really is, because we've had a situation recently whereby a landlord contacted us and said, I received your letter a year ago. So you think you have to keep, and we've sent them another letter since, but it probably a year. That's really bad, isn't it? But probably a year apart that they've received these two letters. So you can't stop after sending it just once or twice. You have to just keep going, because they see your face regularly and they think, okay, these
and do you put your faces on the letters?
We do.
Okay, I think I saw you post on Facebook, and I thought that's unique, that's different. Not everyone else is doing that, and not everyone's brave enough to do that. So the minute you put your face to something, it's like, you got to deliver.
And the things as well, you know, people naturally judge. So when you see someone's face, for example, it's either you want to work with them or you don't. But for us, our business is us. We are the business, we are the brand. So we thought, you know what, we're going to put our faces on there, because if you want to work with us, this is who you get it. So we, that's why we decided. And even one of the letters, we put an imposed Christmas hat on there. So we get lots of calls from that one, actually.
I love that. It's friendly, you know. You know, it's almost tactile, and people can think, okay, I'd like to work with these people. They look, you know, likeable, workable. Okay, so you acquired your first client. How was that? It was already an HMO. How much work did it require, if at all? Did you guys put any work into it? Or?
Okay, so when we went to the property, it was absolutely fine.
Okay,
but that's what it was. It was just magnolia. It was empty, so the property was losing the landlord money because they're having to pay their mortgage, and there's no tenants in there. But it was just all magnolia, and it had a old school student feel, whereby you know those plastic leather sofas. Uncomfortable. No. You know what I mean? When there's no padding.
you just sit in your seat. Oh my
God.
God.
So what we ended up doing, we said, look, it's a wonderful property. It's a lovely period property with the highest ceilings, big rooms. It's perfect for a shared house.
Yes.
But we said, look, we're happy to take it on, but it needs some work.
Yeah.
If you want to have a professional clientele, that's we deal with professionals, then we need to make this more of a home rather than just a house share, and we have to make it desirable for people, so that people want to live here. So we did a refurb on it that was about, how much was it? About 14,000 pounds. We'd initially agreed that we would put in half and the landlord would put in half, as long as we had the option to buy property at the mortgage, what was left in the mortgage. But it all fell through. Okay. Which these things happen. Happen. So then we were like, right, thinking hats back on. We do want to proceed with this property, but we can't put in £7,000 if we're just going to manage the property. So the landlord ended up putting in the full amount. The paintwork throughout. We installed 2 en-suites into 2 of the rooms. Knocked through. So it was a 7-bedroom property, but one of the bedrooms were too small, so it was only licensed for 6. So on the top floor, there was this redundant small room that was used for nothing, basically.
So what did you do with it?
So we knocked through, created a really nice dressing area and a large ensuite.
So you can charge a higher.
There we go.
Yes, girl. Yes, sir. Love it. The business idea. Okay, so then so there's 6 rooms in that property in total. What's the total rent that you're getting off of that property, off the top of your head, if you can remember?
2,600.
Total, it's about 2,600.
Okay, 2,600. Cool. And you're just managing it on behalf of the.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay, so it's not rent to rent. Okay, good.
But there's something really exciting about this deal, because we had done all the upfront work of the refurbishment for the landlord. We agreed to do that for free, as in the work. So he paid for it, but we project managed the whole refurbishment for free. And because we did that, we were able to negotiate a higher percentage on the back end to manage the property, to cover for our time that it took to actually create, move from a very average property to now it's a stunning property. It really is beautiful. And we're charging a higher management percentage, which means that we actually are making the same amount as we would have done had it gone through as a rent to rent. As a management. So no risk.
Loving this. Absolutely no risk. You've managed to negotiate yourself a deal. Are you hearing this, guys? This is the thing. I think people go to these training events and they think, I have to have it. It has to be 3 or 4 or 5 bed. I have to get X amount of rooms for it to work as an HMO. I had a rent to rent in London that was only a 1 bed. Right. Literally, it was a 1 bed, but the landlady just wanted someone in there so that her service charge and ground rent could be covered. The property was unencumbered, so I got a tenant in there paying £800 a month. I was giving the landlady £550. I was making
that's amazing,
making change, and I literally had to do nothing because the landlady kept the property so nice and pristine, and it was just ready to move in. And that was rent to rent deal, and it was only 1 bed. So I think you need to get creative with your strategies. Definitely.
It's like when you learn to drive. You learn to drive and you pass your test. When the driving instructor's gone, you come across so many different other scenarios that you've never encountered that you have to deal with. It's the same with property, learning about property. Once you've done the education, you just have to continue being creative, because there's going to be things that you've never come across, and it's just about making the best of that situation.
Making it work, making it win-win as well. Exactly. Well, she says fun, but
it's fun. It is fun.
I love the time that we're like, what are we doing?
So you acquired your first property. How many properties do you now have under management?
So we have 2 properties under management at the moment. We've got about 3 in the pipeline that's due to come over. But what happened was, so we had more properties under our management, including a rent to SA.
Oh yes. Let's talk about that.
So I think what I'm trying to explain is that our journey has been, we've gone through so many different avenues. It's not just an A to B. You don't go from A to B. No. We did our education. We thought we were going into HMOs, but I mean, what does HMOs mean? Is that rent to rent? Is that management?
Is it just refurbs?
Is it refurbs? Is it purchasing? Is it tenant find? There's so many services that you can offer within that, and we explored so many different services,
different avenues.
Do you want
it had 2.5 years ago, had we decided, right, we want to be a lettings agent, then yes, we probably would have scaled up to X amount of properties over that period of time. But as Tanisha's mentioned, we've gone through the whole management of HMOs. We've gone through the tenant find aspect of it. We've gone through the rent to SA. So there's lots of different avenues that we've explored, but then now stripped that all back, streamlined the business, let go of properties which aren't profitable. Because I think a lot of people...
And that's what we did last year.
Hold on to it. Just to be able to say 20, we've got X amount of properties. But no, we've stripped it back end of last year. And now we're looking to scale up on management of HMOs, and also start looking into purchasing as well. So whilst at the same time as well, we don't actually want a massive portfolio. We're not trying to compete with the high street letting agents. That's not who we are as a business. That's not what Miller and Vincent is about. It's about keeping that portfolio small and giving the best service that we can to our clients for now, in terms of where the direction we're going in the business. So yes, that's what we're...
It's also about finding out what you enjoy.
Yes.
Because we've spoken to people before where they've scaled their business to X amount of properties, like you said, and then thought, I actually don't like this. I don't enjoy it, and it's not what I'm about. So having done various things, had run an SA, worked with a large agent, and one of the largest agents,
HMO agents
in our area on a tenant find basis. You not only learn about what's involved, but also what you enjoy doing, and does it work for you? Is it what you see yourselves doing as a business? So it's been a really interesting journey, and we're now at that point in time where we know what we're good at, we know what we're about as a business, and we're now looking to scale. That's the main focus. So
if someone was looking to start their own management agency, what would be your key piece of advice to them?
What would be the key piece of advice to start their agency?
Or maybe a lesson learned that you would do differently if you were to go back?
I think what I found very useful is that I actually left my job, my career at the time, and I went and worked as a lettings manager. The amount that I learnt in the period of time that I worked for and it was a HMO management company as well. So what I learned in the time that I was there is just absolutely invaluable. Having them you're able to then bring your education, your experience into your business. And you just feel more confident. I think that's the main thing, because when you're building a business, there's so often you don't know what the right thing to do is. So when you can bring that experience into your business, it's brilliant. And if somebody has the opportunity to do that, I would definitely say go and do that.
Definitely. And I'd probably add on to that in terms of building a letting agency. It's I would say relatively easy to scale up quite big if you're charging a relatively low management fee, and then wanting to scale up to 50 odd properties or whatever it is. But I think one of the key aspects that we've taken on board is we've gotten to know our landlords, our clients very well. We've gotten to know our tenants very well, and I think that really does help in terms of who it is that we are, but also keeping the tenants and landlords happy. So I think we spend a lot of attention on the properties that we manage, on our clients and on our tenants, because it really does pay dividends in terms of the service that we provide and having retention at the properties. You want your tenants to be happy, you want them to stay at the property, and I think that's something that we've achieved.
What I love about you guys is that for the tenants that you serve, if there's a new tenant coming in, you do this really cute thing where you have their name lit up, and you have a little gift for them, and you're really getting a really good service, actually. What made you think to do that, and have you continued to do that as you've grown? Are you still able to provide that kind of unique service as you've sort of taken on more tenants?
At the moment, we did the light up names in the box. We did the Argos voucher or whatever voucher of their choice. So that worked really well at the beginning. It's not something that we've continued to do as we've scaled and progressed in our journey. However, we still send out birthday cards via, is it Moonpig? Still send out birthday cards and emails and things, just to make them know that we're there and that we do remember them. They're not just a person or a number in a house. So we do send them birthday cards, and they really do appreciate it. They're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. But that's a personal touch that we are definitely going to keep moving forward, because it doesn't cost a lot, and it makes a massive difference.
So you guys have chosen to start your business in Derby. Why Derby, and why maybe not Nottingham or any other town in the East Midlands?
Go on, go.
I think the main thing that dictated Derby, one, I live there, so I know the city. But two, that's where we initially started our marketing. It is a great city in terms of employability. You know, a lot of investors invest in Derby. There were good quality HMOs there as well, so that's why I'd probably say we started in Derby. We do also manage properties in Long Eaton now, and also looking to branch out into Nottingham.
Okay.
So
watch out, landlords in Nottingham.
So they're only, within 20 minutes of each other. So we've stuck to that area because it tends to work in terms of properties and tenant type that we're professionals that we're wanting to, or housing.
I've also heard that some people tend to choose Derby because there's no Article 4. Whereas in Nottingham and Nottingham City, there's Article 4, which obviously puts a restriction on being able to apply for HMO licenses. Did that ever did you ever consider that as one of the factors when you were choosing your location?
Yeah, most definitely. Initially, when we started out building our business, we had also planned to purchase properties, and that is one of the main reasons we went to Derby, because you can purchase properties in the areas you want to, rather in Nottingham. See, as you've explained, there's a restriction, and the boundary, if you're investing outside of the Article 4 area, it's a bit further away, and probably the properties within the Article 4 area are going to let quicker. Not always the case, but that is a reason why we went to Derby initially. But now, being a letting agency, it doesn't really affect us because we can help everybody.
And presumably you have the right systems in place in order to be able to scale and be able to manage all your properties in your various areas. Is there a particular system that you use that you found helpful, that you think would help anyone who's looking to start a similar business?
I think maintenance is probably one of the key things, because when you're managing properties, the main thing a tenant is going to complain about is maintenance. So having that system in place whereby you can log each and every call that comes through, it's reported, then it can easily be passed on to your trade so that they can resolve the issue as quickly as possible. Tenants always appreciate that, and I think that's probably one of the main things, having that system in place, having someone on hand who can resolve that quite quickly. What other system have we used?
Inventory Hive is wonderful. It allows you to do your check-in and check-outs and do a very comprehensive report, to the point where you could spend hours because you're taking photos of the skirting boards and literally every single thing. But you get a comprehensive report out of it, and you can then download them.
Inventory Hive.
Ooh, I might need to.
Yeah, it's very good.
Okay,
it's very good,
and it's all online and. Okay.
Yeah, so you can have it on your phone, on your iPad or whatever, and then you just go to the property and take photos of everything. It puts all of the pictures in place and forms your check-in report.
Cool. So the plan is to scale, I believe. You're next in your business. What is in the sort of short, medium and long term, what does that scaling look like?
So our plan is to bring on an additional 10 properties.
Okay.
What date?
17th of April.
I love it. I love it. 70, the exact of this year?
Yes. Yes.
Jeez, that's well. We've got some in the pipeline already.
Okay.
So we've been working on this. We've been working on, hitting that date. So we're working towards it.
Okay, so we've spoken a lot about property, but obviously you are not just property, you're multifaceted women, and you do a lot of social responsible projects and support other things outside of the property world, but through your business. So talk to me a little bit about that.
So that's our partnership with Habitat for Humanity. Bit of backstory, it was about 2 years ago when we had this massive brainstorm, or whatever you want to call it, jotted down our ideas. And one of the aspects of our business was humanitarian work. So it was over 2 years had passed and we were thinking something is missing from this business. So we revisited that map that we did and we were like, okay, we haven't done anything in relation to humanitarian work. So we were like, okay, we need to look into this a bit further, look into different charities, different organisations who are involved in property. We wanted to make sure it's connected to property and something that we're passionate about. So we started to look into that a bit further, came across a charity called Habitat for Humanity, and basically entered into partnership with them.
Okay, and so what do they do and how are you supporting whatever it is that they do?
They tackle habitation, substandard habitation globally. So that's what they do basically. And we were like, okay, we are working with investors and tenants here in the UK, here in Nottingham, Derby, on our doorstep. We want to have that global impact, that reach. So partnering with Habitat for Humanity to build houses in Cambodia, Nepal, wherever it is. We will have our little Miller and Vincent stamp over there. So that's why we.
I love that, and I absolutely support that mission. And one of the reasons I got into property was always to go back to Uganda, where I'm from, and build out there. And I love that you guys are doing it already. So you were due to go to Cambodia, was it in January?
Yes, it was the end of Jan. I think it was the 31st of Jan. We were supposed to fly out and we were going to be back by the 9th of Feb, so about 9-10 days out there. That was cancelled literally at the...
We printed our boarding passes.
Everything.
We were on a course, a public speaking course at the time. We got back to our hotel, it was about 11 o'clock at night. We're like, let's print our boarding passes because we're flying to Cambodia tomorrow.
And then the email
came
through.
And then we got an email.
It's been cancelled. Because of the coronavirus, that's why it's been cancelled and they're looking to reschedule it. But so yes, it was devastating because we've had such a build up. We had the whole fundraising over the months. And
I was so excited for you guys because you reached your fundraising goal.
Yes, we smashed it. We didn't reach it. We smashed it. So thank you to everyone who contributed and donated towards that cause. But all the donations that we have received remain secure in that fundraising pot. So when we do go to another country, whether it's Cambodia or a different part of the world, we will use those funds for a project there. So they're safe and secure. We will be setting up a link with the organisation so that people can donate ongoing throughout the year. We'll be doing certain other events as well to fundraise towards that. So there will be opportunities for everyone to donate.
And to get involved.
But we'll definitely...
And you receive a really lovely letter in the post when you do, and it's lovely to kind of keep track of what your money is doing, you know, and know that you're doing good. I love that. I love the follow-up. If the viewers want to reach you guys, get in contact, follow the journey, what's the best method for them to get in touch?
We're active on Facebook. Add us on Facebook. I think I'm under as Tanisha Rose Vincent. You're under as
Sanchia Miller.
So contact us. We really enjoy connecting with people, so drop us a message, or you can email us. Email us at info at millerandvincent.com. How else? Any other ways?
I think that's the best.
You guys are on
Instagram.
Instagram. You missed out on Instagram.
We've also got a website as well, www.millerandvincentproperties.com, and Insta as well. You know, we're not as active as we should be on there, but you can find us on Insta, Miller and Vincent Properties. So we're on there, so you can connect on there. But I think one of the main things is through networking. You know, when we're out there networking, come and say hi to us, come
Yeah.
and connect with us, because we like to put names to faces. We like to connect with people
Yeah.
on a personal level. So yeah,
It's just been great knowing you guys, and I'm
Likewise.
so excited to see
Likewise.
you scale your business.
Likewise.
I'm here championing you on.
thank
But
you.
I remember thinking when 2 years ago when we first met, I think
Yeah.
we've spoken on Facebook and things like that before, but I think we both left. We left that meeting and thought, she's literally going to take over the world.
Yeah.
She's going to take over the world.
Trying.
I'm trying. And you're an amazing person.
Yes,
So
thank
we
you.
also feel blessed to know you, and it's about helping each other and
100%.
Pulling each other up.
100%. Pulling each other up and not pulling the ladder up.
Yes.
You know, letting other people, you know, pushing and pulling. Sometimes more pushing, I must say. But yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been
Thank you for having us.
amazing. I don't know how long we spoke for. Camera was rolling, having a good time. So yeah, Miller and Vincent, Tanisha, Sanchia, make sure you follow them. Make sure you go onto their Instagram, their Facebook. All the links for their channels and websites will be in the description box below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Unfortunately, that is it for this video. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for new content every week. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.
See you.